to the year 2000, a new problem was detected, the digital divide. The alarm spread from the USA to global forums. 25 years later, are we still divided?
Are they really accessed that supposed to be accessed? There is access gap and also usage gaps and also quality gaps.
Stay tuned on Decimal Point. The term digital divide describes the gap between people, families and businesses across different places and income levels, the ability to get on the phone, go online for work, learning or daily life. In Malaysia today, 98% of the population has internet access. So what is the debate about with the digital divide, online versus offline? Doctor, thank you so much for being with us here on Decimal Point. Now, an expert, as we know, you've been in the academic industry and also in this expertise, I think, for almost 2 decades this time. And now we're talking about the digital divide. Now, Doctor, the term digital divide suggests a problem or a gap. Now, in the Malaysian context, is this considered an issue? Maybe you could explain a little bit further or what it means for us Malaysians on the digital divide.
Digital divide. It's a mantra word at Malaysia and also at global. Something that we cannot deny. First of all, we have to understand what is digital divide. Digital divide, last 20 years back or last decade, 10 years back, people always talk about computer penetration rate, mobile penetration rate, and also broadband, broadband penetration rate. But the digital divide is not about who has internet and who does not. It's more than that right now. For example, Malaysia is one of the country which always emphasize on the digital highways. Therefore, in Malaysia, we can say 97.8% people access to the internet. And also at the urban. When talk about, suburban or rural areas, it's almost 90.3% people are already access to the internet. But the big issue is divide. Are they really accessed that supposed to be accessed? Because there are some gaps in the digital divide. For example, there is access gap, and also usage gaps, and also quality gaps. For instance, if you compare to the Peninsular Malaysia and the East Malaysia, there is a significant difference in terms of digital divide. Almost 97.8% access, but the quality access. For instance, in East Malaysia, maybe they only access to the 4G. Peninsular Malaysia, most of the part is already accessed 5G. So there is a big question mark. The gaps in the digital divide.
All right, Doctor. Now you mentioned a very big point. The big question mark is actually about the quality access. Maybe you can touch more about the digital gap and relation to the quality and let us know more about the differences in the areas.
Talk about quality gaps and also it touch about the access gaps. So when you talk about access gaps, urban and rural, are they really access what they're supposed to access? I would say yes, they access the same technology and access to the same infrastructure. But the quality is a matter. For instance, if you move to the urban areas always access to the high broadband. Maybe it can go up to the 200 Mbps, even now, so 1 gigabyte access. What about rural areas and suburban areas? And this is a big gap, in terms of quality access, quality gaps. So what are the consequences? There are a lot of consequences. So whatever you access with the high quality broadband and the low quality broadband is definitely different. It will give a significant difference. and significant impact, because the platform that you are going to use is going to be different. For instance, AI. Now is people are talking about AI divide. From the digital divide, you go to the AI divide. So AI divide is go to the quality gaps. When you don't have a high quality broadband, you will face another line of problem, which is AI gap.
Now, Doctor, what about the importance of telecommunication areas, given that now currently the mobile penetration is at 130%?
The importance of the access of the internet, and also especially talk about high quality access. Even in Malaysia, you can clearly see, even though you are affordable to pay 300 ringgit for the high quality access, but the question mark is whether you have access in that particular place or not. Maybe you are staying at the suburban or rural area, so you don't have access. So at that time, we can feel, oh, telecommunication is very important for me for certain things. Okay. For instance, why it's important? The big question mark is education. In the education sector, it's very important. In the health industry, it's very important. The another one which you cannot deny or cannot skip. It's not an option, it's a mandatory in the business. In the business, the digital inclusion is one of the very, very crucial element. Okay, go back to the education. Education, I can give you very great example, endemic and pandemic. I think there is one news become viral, a student who could not access to the online class, and I think it's climb up the tree to get the internet. So the problem is, maybe they are affordable. The problem is telecommunication are not available for them. So you see the importance of the telecommunication for that particular student. First, education. And also now government go for the My Digital and there's so many programs for the school. So if you want to reach or you want to make sure the education reach to everyone, you're supposed to create a clear policy about the availability of the digital access, which is broadband and also infrastructure for everyone. Second is, it's very important for the healthcare. We can take example of the India, Kenya, China, and some of the countries, especially for the BRICS. Okay, Brazil, Russia, India, and China. How it can really boost the health industry and also ensure the healthy environment and also healthy people. First of all, nowadays people are using AI. And also they use the telemedicines. To use the telemedicine, you need a good telecommunication. If you don't have access, it's going to be a big problem. For example, if let's say Sabah, Sarawak is Malaysia, a person far away from hospital, let's say 100 kilometers, just for the sake of this simple matter, they need to go to the hospital. If let's say we have a telemedicine with the equal access of the internet, the doctors can prescribe the medicine from the hospital through the online collaboration or online consultation, and they can access to the quality health benefits and also the good care of the government. Third, this is a very interesting fact, business. Why China is leading? Why certain country is leading? In fact, in Malaysia, I think it's almost a $1,967 billion of the business, and it has contributed 25% of the digital related business, the contribution to the GDP. So the telecommunication is very, very important for the businesses. Telecommunication is not an option for the business. It's a mandatory. Because nowadays, most of the business move to the online business, which highly required digital related infrastructure, devices, hardwares, and so on. I don't know how many of us are aware about the AI and also the changes of AI, especially AGI and ASI.
The digital divide is often seen as an urban-rural issue, and nowhere is this clearer than in East Malaysia. Is the gap really closing? previously you mentioned on AI and the emergence of artificial intelligence as well. Maybe you could note some notable examples from other countries, comparatively also to where we are right now in this matter.
AI. AI is a mantra word at this moment. We are always talking about AI, but actually AI is moved forward, and also we can see there are tremendous changes in AI. I don't know how many of us are aware about the AI and also the changes of AI, especially AGI and ASI. AGI means Artificial Generative Intelligence, and ASI is Artificial Super Intelligence. So are we ready to embrace all of these technologies right now? People are still talking about AI. So these are the emerging technologies, or we call it AI 2.0, 3.0 and so on. So whether we are ready for that or not, at global level, like China, Russia, even India, really push money and also a lot of efforts to ensure the AI is really optimized at every level. For instance, China, smart agriculture and also smart construction. Without visiting the construction site, you still can control the machines, and the machines will build the entire building without human interferences. Another important thing that I think the only China is doing right now because of AI. A lot of people are not aware about the dark manufacturing and the dark factory. This is another mantra word from China. China is not slowly doing, aggressively doing about the dark manufacturing and the dark factory. What is that? It's because of the AI, which is super AI. Dark manufacturing. In the factory, there is no lights. It's a fully dark, and the machines already automated through the AI functions and also all the programs. And these robots will function, and each minute it can produce 3 smartphones. And no human. Human is the back end, just to set up the process and the manufacturing plant.
Yes, Doctor. And on this end is all related actually to business and manufacturing, and this is actually one of the cost-effective way moving forward. Now we will circle back also to Sarawak. Now Sarawak is very into reaching PCDS 2030, or the post-COVID-19 development strategy 2030, with incorporating smart agriculture, for example, having the emphasis on usage of IoT, and maybe also you touched on IoG. Maybe you can also, on your perspective, what is your perspective on where we are right now as a nation, and what should we do to go forward?
Malaysia is always emphasized on the digital inclusion. Okay? Business and society need to include, or we call it convergence, okay, or we call it incorporated technology in every aspects, business and society. Talking about East Malaysia is, I think, is a very huge land, and each part of East Malaysia should have access to the internet, because I would say East Malaysia is one of the heaven for the agriculture. But the big question mark is, how does technology has been incorporated in the agriculture? So, in my point of view, very simple, Malaysia need to think about how we can do the technology transfer from country which has developed and evolved tremendously. For example, China, India, America, and so on. We have to come up with the policies and the infrastructure planning and so on in order to incorporate the technology in every single aspect, not only agriculture, even education. Sarawak can be an education hub for the agriculture, because there are so many conservation plans and also environmentalists over there. So it's a big things. But the big question mark is the digital inclusion. How quick we are going. It's something we cannot measure quantitatively, but we can measure qualitatively. Then we can move to quantitative way to measure the impact of the digital inclusion and also the impact of the digital on the economy, business and society of the East Malaysia is very crucial.
Correct. And also, when you talk about digital inclusion, now what comes in mind is that we know that we hear terms like 4G, 5G all the time. And we know that 5G is needed as well to empower all these AI, digital inclusion, to have a rapid, fast access to everything and to empower this as well to make this happen. Now, with all this, we hear all these terms all the time, but maybe not many know what they really mean. Can you explain to the audience what is the bigger picture of these two and why it's very important to have that reach?
4G, 5G looks like a siblings. Actually, they are not siblings. It's another version. People are always say it's a sibling technology. No. It's not a sibling technology. It's a technology which has been upgraded and it has go to another level or another scale of technology. Okay, for instance, 4G, maybe you can go for the video streaming. Maybe you can use for the WhatsApp and so on. But when go to the 5G, you always touch about IoT, Internet of Things. Nowadays, everything is IoT. Your watch, your shoe, even shirt also IoT ready, but not available in Malaysia. It can check your temperature. Your handphone is perfectly is IoT. And people are now talking about IoE. So when IoT and IoE is combined, it's give a huge impact. But how it's happened? It's happened because of the 5G. Because 5G is really important for the AI technologies. Because AI technologies always talk about big data, cloud computing, and the cloud architecture and so on. If you still are not providing the 5G access to your society, especially to the rural people, how they can access to the modern technologies? Or we call it cutting edge technologies. Because cutting edge technologies, it really boosts our standard of living and also give the better access to the every aspects, education, healthcare, and the business. So 5G, another one. People those days, around 5 years back, people always talk about industry revolution, IR 4.0. At that time, 4G. Now people are still talking about IR 4.0, but 5G. Actually, it's already, we moved from IR 4.0 to another level. So now we are in the midst of the developing the second generation technology. Second means after the 5G, maybe we want to go for the 6G. China is moving ahead to any country, even US, little bit back compared to the China, because China application of the 5G is everywhere. I think Malaysia as a developing country, it's not only developing country, I would say highly developing country compared to other developing country should embrace the 5G technologies as quick as they can, and also it should be go around the Malaysia, not only focus on certain places, focus on rural, urban and suburban as well, because then only we can collectively build our economy, society, healthcare and education. This collective element will lead to another level of Malaysia, which is from developing country to we call it negara maju. The social commerce is something like a democratization, but that's a root word, democratic. Anyone can use.
Sales are booming today, creating new wealth for many businesses. But others still rely on an on-ground presence and face-to-face customers. For these businesses, are they missing out on the opportunities of going digital? This is interesting, Doctor, because we know that recently TikTok Shop Malaysia has recorded more than 100% sales growth, and this alone is from their Hari Raya campaign. Now, when you translate this on their 2025 online sales campaign, this is involving 3 million affiliate content creators and 1.7 million online local sellers as well. Now, can you comment on this, as this is a very enormous phenomenon in Malaysia, Doctor?
Talking about TikTok, it's one of the biggest reformation in the social commerce. It's the biggest. Before that, people always talk about Instagram, Facebook, and so on. When TikTok, introduced by the ByteDance from China, is really make a tremendous impact on Malaysian consumers and also worldwide. What is TikTok? TikTok basically is a shoppertainment. So when you combine the shopping experience with the entertainment, definitely it will spark everyone to keep on use and optimize the usage of the so-called platform or apps. Instagram is quite different compared to the TikTok. So specifically TikTok. If you go to China, in China they use Douyin. Douyin is another version of TikTok in China. Still make a lot of sales. TikTok is not only for the small shop owners. It's also really give a lot of benefit to the big companies. For example, the big companies also focus on the TikTok sales by using their agents. Sometimes they can open also like a flagship store, okay, to make more sales and quick sales. That is one of the platform you can create a quick sales without any intermediaries and also negotiation, because the platform is a shoppertainment. Those who want to feel the shopping experience plus with the entertainment definitely will use TikTok platform and also similar platforms. Back to the social commerce. Social commerce is one of the important thing because people make a lot of sales. So I would say the social commerce is something like a democratization, but that's a root word, democratic. Anyone can use. It's a democratic. Democratization of e-commerce. It's a shoppertainment. Therefore, everyone can sell through TikTok. Even you and me can sell anything that we can sell. Second is, why TikTok is so famous? Very simple. In Malaysia, there are two reasons. First is, mobile access among the youth is very high. Second is, it's a youth-driven platform, entertainment. Therefore, the sales really increase. So it really gives a big impact to the business and also society. Society means business society. Because of market inclusivity, you can include the small shop owners and also the large-scale business or even individual consumers. Machi, okay, the machi who want to promote, okay, or troll her business, make that business known by everyone, she can use TikTok. Now you can see the trend. That's the word of influencer. So influencer strategy is use TikTok to influence people to keep on remind and constantly buying the items which is promoted in the TikTok. When you close the gap of the digital divide, this trend, so-called shoppertainment trend or social commerce or mobile commerce trend, remain relevant. The most important is the business in society should think about right tool and right effort. So the tools, the available digital platform, or we call it digital artifact or digital apps. Effort, what are the human intervention or human effort in order to optimize the apps and sustain in their business and also stay relevant.
Is the digital divide closing or getting wider? Don't forget, technology never stops changing. Today we have new buzzwords like AI and 5G. The challenge remains of leaving no one behind. See you next time on Decimal Point.